Here we're going to go over now the 5-minute code for Lab 2B. And if you look at the instructions here, we have the starter code and we have our main sections. And these are the main sections. So we're going to have this particular section where we create our variables, our main program over here for the print statements, and then another section over here that we're going to be writing the different data types that we have. So this is actually pretty easy. So if we look at the code here, these are going to be the variables that we're going to be utilizing: year, make, model, mileage. So we'll come over to our area and we're going to create our variables, and we'll do it very simply like this. So I'll come over here and then we'll type in our variables. So in this section here, we're going to add the different variables. So our variables are going to be as such here. So we have car year, car make, car model, mileage. Yep, spelled that right correctly here. Mileage. Engine type and MPG. So that's part one. Part two is going to be the main program where we have our car stats. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically type in the code something along this here. So we have a print statement that's going to give us a header of car stats like we have identified here. So then we have year of car year, make, the model, mileage, and if we type that in there correctly, mileage, all right, engine type, car engine MPG, and then we have the print statement there. So let's go ahead and then run the code. And let me drag this to the other side so we can see things side by side. And then we take a look at our output here. So we have our car stats. Everything looks like it's matching up. And then let's look at, we're not going to do the challenge code yet over here, but let's take a look to see what we have on this part. You also notice that here I did a little fancier print statement. So I did engine, car engine, and then I had a new line break over here. So that's why we have one statement that actually prints on two lines, as we see over here. Now on this third part is to display the variable data types. So copy and paste the print statements above, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add the data type to identify what type of variables these are. So let's go ahead and copy all this and paste it down here. And what we're going to do then is we're going to add some code, car year, and then we'll just basically say type and of car year, and then we'll do the same thing down below here, and this is going to be car make, type, car model. Here we're going to have car mileage. And this one here we're going to have of car engine. And then we're going to put a comma there, and here we're going to have this and say car engine car MPG. Alright, so let's come back over here. Let's clear the code, run it. Oh, and we got an error. Oh, yeah, line 41. Well, if we complete this correctly here, line 41, and what I end up doing here, I forgot the close paren there. We need to have close paren there, close paren there, and a close paren there. So now, run it. And then we can see that we have year 2002, that's class int. So our make, class string, model, class string, mileage was an integer, engine was basically a string, and mileage ends up being a float. Now for the challenge code, this is actually quite interesting. So what we want to do then is we're going to create two print statements to check if the data type for car mileage is int, and then also check to see if the make is type string. So this is a kind of this is a new concept here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this type of print statement. So print the data type for car mileage is an int. And this is the secret sauce to this. So we're identifying the type, okay? And then we're utilizing a keyword here, is int. So we're saying that car type of MPG is int, and we established that this was basically a float. So the car MPG was actually a class float. So that's going to render a certain word. And if we come back over here, we have print data that. So this is our nice formatted string. And card type is string. And let's go ahead and run the code. So let me clear the screen over here and run the code. And we can see the car data type for car MPG is an int false, and the data type for car make is string, which is true. So basically, if you notice what's happening here is that when we're utilizing this unique syntax here, because we're comparing two variables together, and we get the output of either a false, true and false basically. So it's comparing that. So that's kind of a neat way of identifying. This is why I said it's important to understand the data types so we're able to compare and verify the correct output. So for the other lab, you're going to have a 5-minute code for lab You're also going to have another 5-minute code for lab 2C, which basically is the same as this lab, except the only difference is that when you're coming to the print statements here, you are going to utilize a formatted string. So you already have an idea in terms of how to utilize a formatted string. So all it is just copying and pasting and then altering your print statement to utilize the F strings. And that's it.